Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Three Geeks. He's Alex. I'm Joe. That's Brady shaking in the background. And I don't know what we are anymore through the magic of Christmas and on the other side. It feels like it's been forever, but it really hasn't been that long.
So I don't know. I feel that the intro. I probably should have told you this before you did the intro.
Yeah.
This is episode 250.
Oh my God, this is the damn. Well, of course it is. Of course
I'm pretty sure. No, wait.
Is it sure it's not 249?
No, because 249 was the Mount Rushmore of Wrestling Part 2.
Oh man, leave it to us to not commemorate. Well, we'll get you on 300.
Yeah, we say that every time. We say that.
You know what? We'll do 275. We'll be like Marvel back in the 90s, where they commemorated every 25 issues.
It's gonna be like we'll do some. In fairness, I actually think if we add up the Gotham Weekly episodes, we're probably closer to 275 than we should be.
Probably.
So we could probably do some kind of random number for that. You know,
Yeah, you know what?
And the thing is, we've also got quite a few special episodes out as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of on brand for us to screw up in millennial episodes. I mean, anniversary episodes.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So
yeah. So before we get into, how was your Christmas? Because you had relatives visiting, or are they still visiting?
Oh, they're still there. Yeah, my parents came over from the UK. Yeah, so they're still upstairs. I just opened something on my laptop. I don't know what it was. Yes, they're actually because they're visiting. I'm in the basement again for this recording.
Yeah, like old times.
Like old times. So it's been a while since I've been down here. So it's because we have electric heat now, so the furnace shouldn't be kicking in at some point. But I do have to put laundry in when I'm done. So
no problem, man.
There's always that.
Such
but that's
life.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. We ended up, my wife and I volunteered to deliver gifts and food for Santa's Angels.
That is really cool. That is really, really cool.
This was the year that they normally we just she'll drive and I just unload the van and let someone else plans the route and everything. But this year they said, we don't have enough people leading a team. Would one of you want to do it? I'm like, well, what does that? What more does that entail than what I've already been doing in the past, right?
Right.
And they said, oh, just planning the route and packing the bags, and packing, making sure they're all packed. And we're like, well, we've packed bags before. That's not a big deal. Yeah, sure, why not?
Right.
Planning the route was easy. We had some hiccup. I had to plan the route 2 or 3 times just because of the way things change. The address people signed up with may not be the address that they're actually at, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So that was fine, not a big deal. And again, I'm a masochist. I enjoy planning that kind of route. Learn new functions in Google Maps, and then packing the bags it took a while because we had 30 some stops to make. So packing the bags for all of that. But yeah, we were just one route of many. So
that's really awesome, though. You guys do that. That is on PEI. That's a
Well, I think it might be a national thing. I actually don't know.
I've never heard of Santa's Angels. I'll be very honest with you.
One thing I will. It may be a Canadian thing. One thing I will impart to anyone donating toys or anything for the holidays is think of older kids. Don't just donate for young kids. And arts and crafts, and from what we've noticed, has been historically really low, and almost every kid on our list wanted something to be creative with.
That's pretty impressive, though. That's really nice.
We actually ended up picking up some stuff. Mandy's work was able to fundraise and donate some arts and crafts stuff for some, but given it was very last minute, there wasn't anywhere near as many as you would. As some of the other groups could have benefited from it too. So, so how was yours?
My Christmas was fantastic. I got to see family. I spent it with some really good new friends, and I spent it with this little ham next to me who's about to start barking any minute because the dogs upstairs are going nuts right now, and he's probably going to bark. So I'm trying to muffle him right now, but he's already got his cheeks puffed and his eyes are wide. I'm trying to like do damage control. But speaking of damage control with wrestling, so that's the biggest gift I got. I got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that Seth Rollins is currently carrying, and it is beautiful. That replica,
So the photo you sent me, that's
stunning.
Really nice belt.
It's stunning, dude. So basically, what it is it's a combination of the old WCW, big gold belt.
Mm-hmm.
With some other flares of, no pun intended, some other flares of WWE belts of past. And this time, your belts are usually like, especially your replica belts, they're like 4 millimeters thick usually, which is a good millimeter thickness.
Mm-hmm.
This is 10 millimeters thick. This is body armor. This thing is like a bullet won't go through it. It is just unbelievably thick.
I mean, don't test the theory, but I will believe.
No, I'm not going to test the theory, but I'm pretty sure a bullet won't go through it. If you shot a stray bullet, it wouldn't go through it because the thickness of this thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's thicker than, if you remember Batman 89, when Michael Keaton takes like Vicky Vale's makeup tray or something and puts it in his like chest.
Yeah.
And the Joker shoots him. Now that probably would have went through. Because that was like 2 millimeters thick. This is 10 millimeters thick, 5 times the thickness. Okay. So it's just gorgeous, though. It's heavy. It's got a beautiful sheen. And I prefer it so much more to the belt that Roman has right now.
Oh,
Roman has like a mustard version of the WWE Championship that I don't really dig.
I think I'm not a big fan of the square belt.
I like the square because when The Rock created it, not to cut you off, when The Rock created it, it was supposed to be like a Super Bowl ring for football.
Right. Okay, that does make sense.
Yeah, and it's really cool idea. However, he created it in 2012 at this point, 2013, and now we're 11 years later. It's like, I think belts should change every like 5 or 6 years. I think they shouldn't just, you don't wait 10 to 15 years. You wait, 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think that to some degree I do agree with that, and the other side of things is I'd almost rather they don't change.
I know, I understand.
The Vince Lombardi has, they don't redesign the Vince Lombardi. You don't redesign.
They don't. You're right. Correct.
Right. You don't redesign the stand. Now the Stanley Cup has changed over the years. It's gotten bigger, etc. So
yeah, but it hasn't changed its
the actual
overall
cup
design
itself
and aesthetic. Yeah.
Exactly. So part of me is like, well, I don't think they should change the belt. Now, there's no way you could still have the belt Backlund had or Bruno Sammartino had, because it does look small and tiny in comparison to
what you could. The Winged Eagle is still the greatest belt of all time.
I was going to say,
I don't care.
The Winged Eagle probably shouldn't ever have been changed.
It never should have changed.
And so the advantage to not changing it is then okay, well, this belt has had this lineage. It's easy for a casual fan like me to check and just say, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you get rich lineage and, importance and gravitas with it when you don't change it. But yeah, I get what you're talking about. But I'm also just a belt mark. And like, I can't wait to see what the AEW continental belt looks like.
Yeah, same.
I'm dying to see. I hope it's not a disappointment like the tournament. I really hope
I expect it will look really good around Eddie Kingston's waist.
It's exactly what's going to happen. You called it. I wanted to text you last night because you didn't. I didn't know if you watched it or not.
Honestly, I'm so behind on AEW. So I'm keeping up with the results just so that we can chat if needs be. But I will go back and watch the match. I've heard that the Moxley, Swerve, and Jay White match was really good.
It was, but
the Danielson match with
Kingston, it was good.
Kingston was good, and now it's Moxley versus Kingston. Like,
and I like the idea, but I don't know. I would have rather a triple threat for the match. I
Yeah,
would have rather a triple threat to end it, like a triple
yeah.
crown for the triple threat for the triple crown. I think
I
would have been a great way to end it.
I think they should do that next year. The
And it
current
should
champion
have
is,
been,
you've got
honestly,
your two leagues go through the winner of each league, and then you have
it should
the
have
triple
been,
threat
the
with the champion.
finals should have been Moxley, Swerve, and Jay White, in my
Yeah.
opinion, or Moxley, Swerve, and Bryan Danielson. I like Eddie Kingston. I really do. And folks, we're just doing a catch up at this point. We
Yeah.
do have a planned format for this episode, believe it or not, but we're just going to do some, wrestling
Yeah.
dump right now. I like Eddie Kingston. I do.
Hmm.
I get what they're going for. They're going for the, that underdog spirit, that really never say die type of thing. However, no, I'm sorry, just no. It's not. First of all, the way he came out and started the tournament versus how he's ending the tournament, it's not believable. It's just ridiculous that Danielson's out, Swerve is out, Jay White is out. Like,
I
come
I
on.
I
I
think
mean,
that Danielson being out
that's fine. His
doesn't
eye,
yeah, it doesn't
whatever. Yeah.
surprise me with his eye. He's
Right.
already
Right.
somewhat
Fine.
injury prone, so I think he's very publicly said he doesn't want a belt, and
Yeah.
he's probably very happy to put someone like Kingston over.
And that's fine. And yeah, the whole Eddie is a bum thing, and they did it, and I wasn't a big fan of it, but I get it. Eddie's passionate, and that's fine too. But you're
Yeah.
getting Mox versus Eddie. I love Moxley. I really do. I'm a big fan of John Moxley.
Hmm.
But they've built him up to be Stone Cold John Moxley. And it really bothers me that he's like a Superman, because Swerve should have won the match. This
I
is
think
Swerve's time.
I think
Swerve
the
is
different
so fucking
But
good.
I think what you've got now is that because Moxley is, injured, whatever,
Yeah.
this is very clearly Eddie's time to win the Triple Crown belt.
Right. I get
Whereas
it.
if you'd have put Swerve in that match, people would
Yeah.
have it would have been much more interesting to see Swerve versus Eddie, in terms of who could possibly win.
Yeah.
I
I
think
agree.
Moxie versus Eddie is going to be a better match because their styles they will mesh very well.
Well, there's a history there that you can call upon, and that's fine. And John Moxley is the ultimate utility player when it comes to AEW. He
Yeah,
truly is.
he's gonna put Kingston over. It's gonna go so
Yeah,
well.
he has to, because if he
Yeah.
takes the belt, I'm going to be very disappointed at this point, because it's sad that, John Moxley doesn't need it. Eddie absolutely needs it. And it's just,
Plus, you can also bury the hatchet with Moxley and Kingston in the ring, and then maybe you've got another member of the BCC with Danielson leaving.
my cousin said something to me, and he's not even a casual wrestling fan, but it kind of makes some sense to me. In a weird conspiracy theory way, it makes sense to me. And I want to walk you through this real quick.
Sure, yeah.
CM Punk last night, or 2 nights ago, when Matthew was supposed to go, and I feel so bad that Matthew didn't get to go,
Yeah.
got a platinum ticket from Madison Square Garden commemorating his first match in almost 10 years in a sold out arena. It says CM Punk competes in sold out Madison Square Garden, almost 10 years to the day. They are doing so much in the WWE right now, bending over backwards in a way that, for somebody who's been tearing down your company publicly for 10 years plus, or 9 years plus, you're bending over so backwards for this
Mm-hmm.
guy. They are opening the red carpet to the point where I do see where, like, Seth Rollins is like, what the F, man? I'm literally putting my big ass giraffe neck out there every week, and I'm not, I'm breaking my neck for this. And he comes in and he gets a king's welcome. My cousin said something to me. He goes, dude, haven't you noticed that since All In Wembley, AEW has just collapsed? It's falling apart under its own weight. He's like, what if? And I'm like, all right, here we go. He's like, no, hear me out. He's like, what if CM Punk going to AEW was a plant all along and destroyed it from the inside, and he left and he's back? And I was like, nah, that's crazy. He goes, do you put that past the WWE? He's like, the WWE are ruthless, man. I was like, oh my God, you know what? I hate to say it. I don't put it past the WWE. I mean, it would be a long-term plan, but it's really strange, man.
So it would be, the thing is it would be a long-term plan. And I'm not saying it's feasible or not feasible. I don't know if I don't think I do believe it.
I honestly think it's feasible.
It's totally feasible. I feel like there's too much that could go wrong, because what happens if CM Punk goes there and ends his career, like, because he got injured pretty significantly
right.
twice, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, or what happens if he goes there and he enjoys it so much that he stays, right? Like,
but all I know is that Tony looks like the biggest doof ever, Tony Khan, because how stupid do the Bucks look for doing that victory lap in Chicago?
Oh yeah.
How stupid do they look right now? Their company is floundering. Like, me and my other show have a thing that we're going to do. It's going to be like, it's AEW with Triage. We're going to rebook AEW. It's so bad, Alex. Dude, I love AEW. I'm so passionate about AEW. I was the biggest supporter when it first started. I was at every Boston show that came around immediately. Never missed a Dynamite. And then it just became the ex-WWE show. And then it became just Tony Khan putting dream match every week after dream match, or what he thinks is a dream match, with no ramification and no story building and no nothing. And I got to be honest with you, I don't give a flying fuck who the Devil and the Masked Men are at this point. I don't give a shit. I just want it over with. It's so painful.
It's dragged on.
Oh, did you hear what happened last night?
Yes.
It's brutal. Like, it's you know who I'm starting to think the Devil is, and I'm going to type it to Matthew later. I think the Devil is Vince Russo, because this is so bad that it's probably fucking Vince Russo. And the final reveal will be typing on the screen, "How are you, bro?" Like, it would just, it's awful. Like, Joe doesn't need it. It makes Joe look ridiculous. Like, I knew he was in on it the second he came hobbling out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, he's gonna whack him with the chair, and all of a sudden it was like, nice doing business with you. I was like, oh my God. I'm at the point where I do want Joe to win the title on Saturday, because I need a reset. This is just awful. Well, they got to repackage Max, figure out what they're doing with him, because he's either a super nice guy for the Jewish community and he's against bullying, or he's bullying Swerve backstage and putting him down. Like, it's just, there's no cohesiveness. It's just, he flip-flops, and it's like, no. I want this Devil crap over with. I want Joe to get the belt, because Joe does deserve the belt. He deserves a title and a real run. And then I want them to wrap up the other shit. Like, Eddie Kingston has to take the Continental Championship. He has to, because I just think it will be deaf ears if Moxley wins it. And then Edge almost has to beat Christian. I mean, Adam Copeland almost has to beat Christian Cage. Almost has to. Otherwise, he is the biggest bust in the history of wrestling in the past 20 years. Like, he's got to beat him. They've got to reset with World's End really bad, because they're losing a lot of people. They're losing a ton of people. Did you see that Matt Jackson's wife quit?
No, I didn't even know
she's like one of the heads of talent something. She's a talent head. There's like so many regular backstage people in AEW in this past week that just quit. What's his name? What's his name? Perfect 10. Sean Spears.
His contract expires. Yep.
Yeah, he's done. Like, there's so many people leaving. Like, and the rumor is, open the doors for WWE with Warner Brothers Discovery for Raw to go to TNT. Now, if Raw goes to TNT, Dynamite's gone, dude. Gone. They won't have them on the same network. Gone. They'll just push Dynamite to another network.
That's just it. Like, I'll be interested to see what happens in the long run with everything. As it is, it's one of those things. Like, unless I see it, like,
it's really sad.
Yeah, it is. I'm not thinking too much about it at the moment.
They've got all the talent in the universe. They got all the
exactly.
Talent. You have FTR. You have a
Yep.
federation where you have freaking FTR.
You have FTR, you have Jay White, right? Like you got some fantastic workers. Like, or you just got to get your stories under control. And I think if they can reset at World's End, there's
they need to reset.
Yeah.
You got Will Ospreay, dude. Enough said. Like you got Will Ospreay.
Like that's just it. The talent coming in.
No.
Like it's you've got more than enough to carry you for a good couple of years. It's just a case of getting everything back to not square one, but resetting, wrapping up the stories that need to wrap up, and then
it's reminding me of bad WCW, and it's really hurting to see it because it has so much promise. There's such a rabid fan base for it. There are people who are unapologetically AEW fans that like will make excuse after excuse for everything and just destroy WWE. I'm not a tribalist. I love them both, but I call it how I see it. I don't miss Raw and I don't miss SmackDown. If I miss it live, I watch it right away on DVR. And I pretty much watch the whole show. When it comes to AEW, man, I am DVRing through most of it. It's so hard. Like, I don't understand. They've got like the Don Callis thing with the paintings last night. What a snore fest, man. I'm just like, oh God, kill me. Like, please. You know, and I love Jericho. And Sammy Guevara and him are reteaming again because Kenny is out with diverticulitis.
And I feel like that's one of those things where they didn't have a whole lot of choice on that.
No.
There's
who the devil's going to be, right? I have a feeling
it's got to be Adam Cole at this point.
I think it's fucking Wardlow, dude.
Nah.
And I'm so scared that it's going to be Wardlow because remember he like made the point of the promo like a week ago. He was like, Max's sins will not be unforgiven or whatever. He's like really cryptic and like over the top. It should be Adam Cole. You know who I would love the devil to honestly be? Me and my buddy were working it out the other day, and then we'll switch to our stage topic. I would love the devil to be not a man. I would love the devil to be Britt Baker.
Oh, that would be really good.
I would love the devil to be Britt Baker. She was my pick.
Yeah.
And then Adam, Roderick, Mike, and Matt are the other guys around. And then I don't know who the rest would be because sometimes there's like 20 of them. And sometimes there's 4 of them. It's weird. But I would have it be Britt and she'd be like, this is my family, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't belong. You never did. And Adam Cole comes back and you think he's going to save Max and he sides with Britt, of course. And I'd be all right with that.
Yeah. I think knocking Max down for the beginning of the year is a fantastic way to get fans invested in him as a babyface because then he can work his way back.
Well, it's the Cody Rhodes method, but they got to be really careful how they do it because WWE's got some seriously good writing.
Yep.
They can't just be like, and that's the thing that bothers me too. Did
you
see
say
that
they
match
have
deep? Yep.
I was going to say you say they have good writing, but then there's stuff like Roman Reigns being a champion for so long that
that's just Shakespeare, my friend. That's just good.
So I agree to disagree. Like I find the reason I honestly don't care as much about WWE is because there's only one champion who's likely to lose it at any point, which is Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, exactly. I get it.
It's like so Seth Rollins and the US Championship are likely to change hands. Gunther, I actually care about because he's when I tune in, he's there.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Right? But when it's time to now, I get Roman has health issues. I understand that.
Yep.
So when Roman does eventually show up, like, oh cool, Roman's here. But for the majority of the time, he's not there. No, and it's almost like it's worse than when CM Punk quote held the belt hostage for a few days when he quote left the WWE. Right? This is planned. Like Roman Reigns is just not around, and he's going to be your champion, and he's just.
I know. For
he's there.
1,000+ days.
Like,
he's like almost 1,400 days now.
Yeah. There's every chance they could break Hulk Hogan's record.
That's my worry. That is my worry, and I can't wait to have Matthew on again because I don't think Cody will survive another job.
No, and the thing is that at this point, you say, oh, hey, Roman held the belt for this long. Okay,
Yeah,
how many
who
times
cares?
did he actually defend it, though?
Right. Yeah. It's staggering. So he's defended it less than 60 times over almost 4 years.
Yeah, right.
Less than 60. That's crazy.
So even
Like,
if it's 60 times over, say, 48 months, or what, there's
yeah, let's just call
four
it 48.
years, 48.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's not good.
no, it's not. It's like just over once a month is what it works
Yeah,
out to.
exactly. And like your champion, Seth, now Seth defends it probably 3 times a month.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like 1.25 times a month is what it averages out to if he's done
Yeah,
60.
right.
And that's over 4 years, like 48 months, 4
Right.
years.
And Roman's not even defending it at house shows.
No, right?
So
Like,
my whole thing is like my dream until CM Punk came back, and then my dream went out the window, and I want CM Punk to win it. I don't care. The hell or high water. I want him to win it. I want him to take it. I want it. I want it. I want it. But my dream was to have Gunther win the Rumble and challenge Seth and be the first
mhm.
person since Warrior to hold the IC and the world title and have it seriously mean something with a champion that can wrestle instead of just look good and shake ropes.
Yeah.
But since CM Punk came back, I want CM Punk and Seth Rollins at Mania so bad. It hurts.
Mhm.
And then I don't want Roman and Cody straight up again. I want a monkey wrench in there. I want a third person. I don't know who I want, but
The
I
only
want
way you could,
somebody.
if you could do it in a way that, say, you have the Miz, you got the Miz, Roman, and Cody pins the Miz to win. You can
Yeah.
argue then that Roman still wasn't pinned, right? Like
Yeah.
he could then chase the argument of, I want my belt back. I didn't lose it. The Miz lost it
I don't
for
want
me.
it. I think when Roman loses, he's got to lose clean. It's got to be 3 people. He loses it right in the middle of the ring. Cody wins, and Roman goes away, and he falls on his sword for a while. Give the man a real rest. Give him like 9
you,
months off.
you can't say give the man a rest. He hasn't done anything.
No, I know. This year has been the worst.
Mm-hmm.
This year has definitely been the worst of his reign because he's worked the least amount in this year. That's for sure. Like he's almost at no pay-per-views or PLEs ever. And that's the tough thing. Like, and does anyone think he's going to lose it before WrestleMania? No. There's not a chance in hell. I don't care if you throw like the 87 Airborne against him at Royal Rumble. He's not losing it. It's going to look good, but he's not going to lose it.
No,
and that's the tough thing. Like, they do have good writers, though, because they kept it going for 4 years without it being terrible. AEW can't keep it going for 4 weeks. They're brutal, man. Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that when it comes down to it, like, obviously people are going to have different opinions on the length of Roman's reign. Some people are going to think, pardon not intended, some people are going to think it's fantastic. Other people are going to think, oh, that's really cool. I'm happy that he's eclipsed certain other things.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest thing is that if I'm tuning into a PLE, I'm expecting to see Roman Reigns defend the belt.
Yeah.
Full stop. Like, I'm expecting to see Roman Reigns defend the belt, even if it's a squash match. Even if they've got someone coming, hey,
agreed.
This is currently the #1 contender, and Roman comes in, spear, Superman punch, it's over, and then he walks out and is like, who's next? Like, feed me more.
I mean, because you almost expect the same from Gunther at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see him in action, but you don't expect to see him lose.
No, you don't.
Like, he's just too big to, like, the Miz has come close, but you knew it was just to make it look as good as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And, kudos to Gunther, but, like, man, he had a banger with Chad Gable. He had a banger with Drew, with Sheamus, with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. And he's young, too. And he's getting better. And it's like, God, this guy is stellar. And it's like, just keep on building him. That's why I kind of don't want him to lose the IC until he ascends to the next level. Like, I don't want him to lose it and go to the next level, which is what everyone does. I kind of want him to keep it and then get to the next level and relinquish the IC. Because I think Gunther's that talent that he warrants that. He warrants that kind of a welcome into the main event scene. I mean, I consider Gunther main event for a long time because he's been carrying Raw, if not Seth. It's either Seth or Gunther carrying Raw. And like, man, Seth has done so much. Not only is the belt beautiful, and I'm biased because it's right next to me, but Seth has made that belt matter in 7 months. He's made it matter. Like, it's crazy how people vie for it and like treat it like it's Roman's belt. But it started as the consolation title, and everyone was joking at it. Like Donnie, my friend Donnie, he calls it the underling belt. He's like, "Oh, you feel so good carrying around the underling belt."
And
I'm like,
but see, I do get that, because doesn't technically Roman have two titles, a Universal and the WWE Championship?
well, they're created into one ridiculously long name that makes no sense anymore. It's the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. That's the name of the belt for Roman.
Okay, so he's only got the one
title.
Right, so he's only got the one title now, but
The
because
mustard
he's
title.
and because he's drafted to SmackDown. They had to have another world title for Raw.
Right.
Fine. I guess that makes more sense than having him vacate the Raw title for whatever reason.
But yeah, they call it the WWE Undisputed Universal World Heavyweight Championship. It's a law firm. It's his title.
Yeah.
But so the problem is it is disputed.
If when he loses it, are they then going to have 3 titles, or is he just going to be one again?
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just the WWE's lineage, the WWE Championship, the WWWF to WWF to WWE belts lineage has collapsed into Roman's mustard title. It is that is the main one. When you look back at, Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund or whatever, that's the belt that they technically held. It's that title that he carries is their title. That's the representation.
Which goes back to what we were saying before about belts changing their look.
Folks, we had no plan to talk wrestling for 34 minutes, but we sure did. So let's pivot, and a new year, wrestling will be there. Let's pivot to our planned topic, which we haven't talked in a while.
No,
I feel like we haven't talked toys in so long.
No, and you know what? Honestly, it has been a long time, and I think that when it comes to Marvel Legends wish lists, this has actually been one of the hardest ones I've had to do, because I've looked at the last few years, and I don't remember exactly what's been announced, but I'm looking at it and like, well, other than the Kane, Clone Saga Kane, the original first appearance Kane costume that we're both always going to pick first, so we've deliberately not picked it. So much of the rest of my list has been made over the last few years. We've got a pinless Tiger Stripe Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Jim Lee Sabretooth coming out.
Yeah, God, I'm so happy for that.
Like, you've got the Joe Fixit patch 2-pack coming out.
Finally, yeah.
There's the new biker Wolverine coming out with a new civilian Wolverine coming out.
Yeah, and then there's that other Wolverine.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention that, but
it's fine. You can mention it because I know it's on. I know it's gonna creep in. But what made this hard is that you said, "Oh, I like when it has a theme." So I'm like, damn it. So mine's Spider-Man. So it's all Spider-Man characters.
Yeah, no, I deliberately didn't have a theme because we said we were gonna have a theme.
This is how it works, folks. This is how show notes work. Is that we plan something, we unplan it, and then we replan it again. That's fine though. I'm really excited to see what you come up with.
So
we announced the BAF first.
Okay.
And then go with the figures that make up the BAF. Enough, Brady.
So my builder figure is Roughhouse.
Who is Roughhouse?
A Wolverine villain. Basically, you could use a Joe Fixit mold for him, like that kind of thing. He's just a powerhouse.
Save the Marvel Legends crew money. I didn't save them any money.
No,
what we want. Okay.
Yeah, this is just what we want. That was just to give an idea as to what size I envisioned him being, as to why I didn't want to make him a regular one. It's very much I can't think of anyone else that I actually wanted, but Roughhouse,
which is a good problem.
Yeah, like Roughhouse is a good figure or a good character that I would love to have on the Wolverine villain shelf. Can you hear the furnace in the background?
I can hear it, and it's okay.
Yeah, it just kicked in. So.
All right, that's all right. My
I'm
dog.
gonna go on and off mute as we go. So if it takes a minute to reply, so
that's fine. All right. So my guess is you want me to name my bath, which I already let slip before we even hit the record button.
Yeah, which I was gonna name it for you, and I thought I probably shouldn't. I should probably let you name your thing.
I'll name it. My bath is Stegron, and I'm surprised that I even picked Stegron because I don't really have the biggest attachment to that character. However, I started thinking over the past couple years, they've done some amazingly cool baths, and I'm like, you know, I would love a Stegron with a bendy tail and a good bulky size, kind of like the armadillo size, but maybe a little bit bigger, and just more detail, more scales. And Stegron's becoming more of a staple of Spider-Man. And it's like, I started thinking about baths that I would want, and there's not too many in the Spider-Man wheelhouse. There's the J. Jonah Jameson Spider Slayer with the 3 heads, with the 3 video screens. That would have been cool. But that's really it, because they've already made Null. They've already made most of these characters. I mean, Marvel Legends, to their credit, as much as they get crapped on, and they do, still in 2023 they get crapped on. They've made so much, like so very, very much. So they haven't made Stegron yet, and I would like them to make Stegron. So that's my bath.
That's fair. So going off the Rough House theme, the second or / first figure on my list. Technically, he's at number 7 because I was going to go through 1 through 7, then reveal the bath, but I'll do it in reverse order. Bloodscream. He's the partner to Rough House.
Okay, cool.
He's a vampire that can't be hurt by any blade forged by man.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
is that like the Elsa Bloodstone type person, like in that wheelhouse?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So then, my first would be, I want a classic chameleon Steve Ditko style with the smoking jacket and a couple interchangeable heads. That's the one I want.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My next one is the first appearance Captain Britain. Not the hulking brute we got, but the red was it red suit with the red mask with yellow designs on it.
Okay, is it still Brian Braddock?
Oh yeah, still Brian Braddock, but he's
skinnier.
He's skinnier, yeah.
I've never noticed that there was a Captain Britain prior. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's cool. Like his first costume, so
that's very, very cool. Okay.
Funnily enough, he actually would fit in with your Spider-Man theme too.
Yeah,
probably. I think it debuted in Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man.
Right. So the next one for me, and it's probably recency bias because I read the comic book today, but I've been following like the Gang War Spider-Man crossover, and Miles Morales has the return of the Hobgoblin, which I love the Hobgoblin, but we've already had the Hobgoblin made, so we don't need him. However, what we do need, and a really bad update, is a Prowler. Now, I was like, do I want the old school Hobie Brown Prowler? But we got that back in like 2016, 2017 with just a really shitty clamshell cape. I'm like, do we want that? Or do we want the new upgrade that's in the Gang War right now with a cloth cape? Because this is my wish list. I want a cloth cape. Fuck Marvel with their plastic shells.
No, that's fair.
I want a cloth cape, and with those new gauntlets, and just like that real sleek look that he has now with the same color scheme, but it's a sleeker, more electric color scheme. That's what I want. So that would be a good like Miles Morales villain. You know what I mean? Because we don't have any Miles Morales villains.
So accidentally staying in theme with you, Scarlet Spider 2. So the Kane Scarlet Spider on the Renew Your Vows body.
There you go. Yeah. I figured you were going to ask for that. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's such a good buck.
Right? That's just it. I love the buck. I think the buck is fantastic.
But I'd want a different head this time. I don't want the one eye like squinting versus the one eye open. I want like either 2 eyes wide open, or give me that and the squinting head.
Oh, I would want multiple. Yeah, you want multiple heads.
Multiple heads. Yeah. I'm getting greedy on this. This one I'm pretty shocked that they don't have made still, and it's Carrion from the 90s. They just don't have him made. I'm really shocked he's not a hard redo.
I don't even know if I can think of that one.
And I ask for Carrion every wish list, every single time, even back to the null ones. I asked for Carrion.
Yeah, I think you have.
Yeah.
My next one is Baron Blood, the Captain America Union Jack villain from the Invaders. I've mentioned him a couple of times, so.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of those where I've if you don't know the character, I'm not going to go into a deep history of him. It's just
you cherry picked around the Marvel universe, and I like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I went your Scarlet Spider route with the Renew Your Vows book, but I went with Superior Spider-Man. Need a freaking Superior Spider-Man on a nice buck.
Yeah.
And I don't want the latter costume. I want the first costume where he had the more insectoid eyes with the toes, and
I actually
just the Spider-Man colors.
Yeah, I actually thought that the Assassin Spider-Man, when I first saw it, was the Superior Spider-Man. Yeah.
No, but that's the idea, though. You could easily do it.
Oh, easily.
So yeah.
Okay, so my next one is Razor Fist.
And I know who Razor Fist is.
If I'm being really greedy, I'd want alternate hands for each of his. Like, so he comes with the Razor Fist, but then you can swap out the hands and then have alternate heads. Because at one point, the original Razor Fist had 2 sword blade hands, and then the next 2 Razor Fists had the basically, yeah. Well, one had the blade on his left, one had the blade on his right, and they were brothers. And then you could basically army build the 3 for whatever you needed the bath for. You could but plus that build that out a bit. But yeah, Razor Fist.
Yeah. So my next one, it's kind of left field. It's Spider-Man, but it's a different medium. I want the blue and black animated Punisher with the long coat and the bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to get another Punisher again. So
I think if we do, it's going to be in with a refitted new logo on his chest.
Yeah, with the new logo when he was with the fist.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay, so this is a slightly deeper cut. It is Maverick, but with the costume from a solo series, which was more gold armored than the one that we actually got.
Okay.
He's a little bit sleeker, and that's my ideal version of Maverick. You see him in some of the more other modern versions, other than before he became Agent Zero. So
yeah, right.
Late 90s, like very late 90s, early 2000s Maverick.
Yeah. So the next one from me is kind of weird, but like I do want it. I went back and forth on this pick and another more contemporary pick, but I'm going to settle on I want a classic in her most well-known costume, Typhoid Mary. Rather than the Typhoid Mary we got half a dozen years back.
That is fair.
And the person that was bumped from the list because she's too new, but that doesn't make sense because you got Chasm and Hallows Eve, but was Queen Goblin, Ashley Kafka's version of like a woman goblin.
Oh yeah, I know.
Bumped. I think she's very toyetic, but
100%.
I don't think we need to do her yet.
No. So my last one, and this is the one that I would do without a bath piece, is Savage Wolverine. From where the adamantium's been ripped out. And
everyone's been
that kind of thing.
For that. Yeah.
I feel like that is the one we're most likely to get next.
Yeah, I agree.
Or maybe Scarlet Spider 2. I think those two are the ones we're most likely going to get at some point.
I don't think we're going to get Ben. Oh, not Ben. I don't think we're going to get Kane in that costume very soon. I think we're going to get. Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it's coming. Maybe not this year, but because at some point they're going to run out of uses for the body, and if we've got the Assassin Spider-Man,
true,
right? Like at a certain point they're going to reuse that body for that figure. Who's your last in the wave?
And here's the tough one. I don't know who my last in the wave was. It's a question mark. It's left over because it's like the one I would say without the bath piece. You've already got Aunt May. You've got. You know what? Yeah, there we go. I'll go with Uncle Ben.
I was gonna say you're gonna go with Uncle Ben.
Yeah, go with Uncle Ben. Why not? And put them
All
on a
right.
retro card. Go with Uncle Ben.
So the exclusive that I had picked
Mm-hmm.
was Death. And the reason for this is that it's one I could see as being an exclusive because it wouldn't do well mass market other than his very toyetic design is Death's Head.
Oh, but which one? We've had Death's Head 2.
Yeah, no, not Death's Head 2, the real one, Death's Head 1.
The original Death's Head, who's way better. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
Okay, I like that. Dude. Only one Wolverine in that list. I'm shocked.
I can't. I mean, yeah, like I can't think of many Wolverines that are left that I don't have some version of.
Right, it's true. Okay, so this is a weird one, but my deluxe, and it's my deluxe, and it wouldn't be for Target. It would be for
Is this your exclusive though?
This is my exclusive. This would be my deluxe exclusive, and it's a single figure, and it would be for all comic and like specialty shops.
Mm-hmm.
I would do harken back to Toy Biz. I don't know what anniversary it might be. It might be let's see, it's not the 20th, so it's the 20th, 22nd, 23rd. Whatever. Let's just call it an anniversary or something. I would do a super duper prosable Todd McFarlane Spider-Man with webs that like wrap around everywhere and just ridiculousness, and like that's what I would do.
That is fair. And you could do that easily with the bodies that they have already.
Dude, you might be doing it. I have a funny feeling Todd McFarlane's making the play for the Marvel Legends license.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's coming. I think he got his foot in the door with the Hasbro Page Punchers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, ooh, Todd doesn't do anything for no reason. He likes to conquer.
Yeah.
He's a Brock Lesnar, and I think he's gonna listen. Marvel Legends hasn't been the stellar selling that they've done in the past 3 or 4 years. They're doing okay.
I think they're probably back to where they would have been
pre-pandemic.
Exactly. Like I think the pandemic boom has. I mean, I'm certainly buying less now that life is back up and running and you can travel again. Okay, so my deluxe is T-Mex, Wolverine, Sabretooth, Maverick. Arguably, it is not a. I wasn't sure if we were going to go with a deluxe figure, but I think, well, a deluxe 3-pack is going to be about the same as a deluxe figure, exclusive. Almost a bath. So, yeah, and easy enough to do.
I don't know why this didn't get announced. I'm really shocked it didn't. I think it's on Rectangular's list, to be honest.
I think it's coming. I think it's one of those things that if it's Wolverine's anniversary, it's what people want. So they're going to get people to buy this stuff that they're like, maybe I will get that. And then
I will say this, though. It pains me to say, but I think I've only got one more, maybe this year coming. That's it. One more year of escaping the Brood in Marvel Legends figures. I think 2024 may not be the year, but I certainly think by the time 2025 rolls around, they're going to be revealed. They're on the way.
100% they are, yeah.
And it bothers me so much because once I saw that Brood Wolverine, I said, oh no, this is the opening salvo. Mm-hmm. They are coming. Now, whether they come in a deluxe like Mojo or, like MODOK release, or God forbid Marvel Legends opens up with the Brood Queen HasLab, I'm done. Burning all my Marvel Legends the day that happens. They're coming. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
Because
100%.
There was a lot of fanfare for that 2-pack. Forget Lalandra. People are talking about that Wolverine.
Because
like
it's what that Wolverine means, right? If you've got Brood Wolverine, then that means Brood might be coming. So
why do you sadists want Brood so bad?
All right. Who is your deluxe?
Well, Todd McFarlane one was my deluxe.
Okay, so that was your deluxe. Okay.
But if I wanted to go with deluxe instead of an exclusive, I guess I would go. Trying to think.
Because I've thrown you off by adding a team as my deluxe.
You did, and that's okay.
And the exclusive Death's Head.
I guess I would do, and it's kind of strange, and it's only for me, but hey, it's my list, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would do a Sins of the Father, Spectacular Spider-Man 3-pack, if I could do it. And I would do Harry Osborn Green Goblin, Peter Parker Spider-Man, but he'd be all battle shredded Because we haven't had a battle shredded posable Peter Parker.
No.
Spider-Man. Battle shredded with Vermin. That would be my 3-pack.
That would be cool.
And because I love Sins of the Father, it's one of my favorites. One of the first stories I ever read as a kid fully and comprehended it. And it was in Spectacular Spider-Man. It was like a 6-parter. And the only thing that was really confusing to me was I read my dad's old comics and then I read that. So like Norman Osborn was Green Goblin, but then I read it and like there was the ghost of Norman Osborn and I didn't quite understand. It was the only time I had to like tag my dad in a comic and be like, hey, Dad, what is this? And he's like, oh, he's like, I don't know. I haven't read in long. He's like, but that's Norman. That must be Harry. He's like, that's his father. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because I had no clue. I was like, why is there a ghost goblin and a regular goblin? Like, what's going on here? But that would be my 3-pack.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
All right. I
got to do laundry.
Yeah, what I was thinking is actually there's no heat on in the basement.
Oh, geez, dude. Yeah, get upstairs so you're not a popsicle.
Yeah, and I can also hear my cat clawing at the door. So I should run at some point. But yeah, I actually don't have.
We'll be doing this again soon. We thank you guys for putting up with the absence, and it's the holidays. Everybody is trying to get in the mode and trying to get around. I mean, I'm still working tomorrow. I have one more day, and it's been a fun, unpredictable week, and things have gone well, and it's been nice. And I wish that for everybody who's listening, whether you're listening now or in the new year. I wish that everything goes nice. And for anyone who just jumped on, welcome aboard. For anyone who's been with us for the long time, God rest your soul, and God bless your soul. And with that, that's it.
I'm not cutting that. Oh, that was good.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.